like you're supposed to have it all together, but inside you're wondering how everyone else makes it look so easy, you're not alone. This is Southern Sisters, a place for women who want to grow without the guilt, find purpose in the messy middle, and be reminded that you were made for more. Make sure you stick around. We always save the bloopers for the end. Welcome to our episode of Southern Sisters. We're so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we have a great episode for you. It is officially February. So this whole month, actually, we are talking about love. That's the theme for our episodes. And before we jump into our top marriage tips that we are going to tell you about today, our icebreaker question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how put together do you feel today? And what pushed you to that number?
I want to know where this question came from, and you better answer first, Megan.
How put together do I feel today? I'm probably at a 5. I just feel mid.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week.
Yeah.
There's been a lot going on, and I feel like my plate's been really full. So I'm probably about 50%. I got my hair curled. That's about it.
Great.
Yeah.
That's
I feel like the better I look, the worse I feel inside.
sometimes that is the truth.
Like, I gotta overcompensate.
Absolutely
Ooh,
true.
Courtney, you look good. You're not okay.
It's true.
I said I'm probably a 6.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
above average.
Yeah.
And what pushed you to that?
Not being able to sleep. Some personal things going on in my life.
You've had a rough week too.
Yeah.
Like we all do.
Right. Court, what were you?
I'm a 10. Always, baby. Thank you.
Yeah.
And have a nice day.
Whew, some positivity.
And what pushed you to that?
Myself, because I'm always pushing myself to be the best.
Me. And you
like
had
to
some
thank
bonding
me.
time with your brother.
Me for all this. No, just kidding. I am just like over this terrible. I'm outside of this horrible season of my busiest work season.
Yeah.
So I've gotten sleep.
feel great.
I've gotten time with people that mean the most to me, and it's like
You went duck hunting.
I went duck hunting this morning with my brother. It was just freaking amazing. So I feel
10 out of 10.
Yes, I feel very put
amazing.
together.
I'm a -3. I feel like I've been coming down with something all week and I can't take medicine. I'm so big and pregnant in my 3rd trimester and I had to kickstand myself to roll over today. That was fun. In the bed. At like 3 a.m. That was fun. And I didn't get ready until right before this podcast. So the reason I am anything is because of this podcast because I wasn't ready until about 30 minutes before here.
What pushed you to? I'm just kidding. You
To
just
have to get ready to be here.
my kickstand skills pushed me out of
No.
bed to the.
Charlie horse and kickstand, and I'm like,
Oh no.
Oh my gosh!
somebody was like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, "Don't ask me today. Don't ask me today. I'm fine."
To get rid of the Charlie horse? Do you stand up on it?
No,
Okay, you know that's how you do it, right?
but
You don't
my
have to put pressure on it. You have to stand on it. Yes.
I'm like,
And
I
it's
should have
over.
eaten a banana.
And it-
That's what I do. That's what I do in bed. I should have had that banana. I had a banana and I don't remember how long.
So Jared taught me this that you
You
just
stand
stand on
on
it.
it?
Yes. And I thought it was
What do
just
you
like
do if you can't roll
That
over
seems
without
like
that
torture.
leg?
so if you're
Yeah.
laying down, you just and your foot's like and you just take your foot and you press it down
oh, you
on the
don't
bed.
have to get up.
No.
Oh,
No, you just kind of have to put it on something.
Okay.
And it goes away.
Interesting. Josh used to always try to like massage my leg when I was having a Charlie.
No, it makes it
Yes.
worse.
I was like,
Yes.
no, that's right.
It makes it worse.
Yeah.
Now
You're
we
welcome.
know. You're welcome. Southern Sisters
10 out of
told
10.
you. 10 out of 10 over here told you how to get rid of a Charlie horse. This is big. Okay. So our Ask a Sister question for today is, what's one routine that you or your family has that lessens the chaos or insanity? And ours is family prayer at bedtime.
yeah. That creates chaos in my house right now.
Oh, really?
Yes. Caleb's like, no, it's bedtime. No. And then if he doesn't get to pray, he's pissed.
Oh.
So now we let him pray every night. and then somebody else does.
I have a lot of hang-ups at being the one to get everybody together for prayer because in my childhood,
What?
I would be the one that wanted to go to bed the first.
did,
And
and we
I would
all
be the one
hated it.
I'd be the one bossing everybody around to go and have prayer.
Time for prayer. Time for prayer.
I have to journal, then I have to read my scriptures, then I have to go to bed.
I have a whole routine plastered on my wall.
So that is not mine.
Yeah.
But we like to have
Maybe you were
family.
born to do that, by the way. So maybe you should just keep doing it. Just realize that's your place.
I can't. Maybe I'll get there one day. But anyways, Jared, it's really important to Jared that we have family dinner together. So I was like, how can we make it's so hard to gather all of us together in one place because everybody's running everywhere because we have toddlers and children that go everywhere.
Yeah, they take a bite and then they
1 minute, 1 minute they're there and then they're upstairs in a different room across the world, and it's like I don't want to go after you. And then once I go and get that twin, then the other twin goes somewhere, and then I have to go get that twin. I'm like, all right, everybody grab a kid, and then we gotta like all wrangle them and go. Anyways, so I decided this week after I heard the Dom and Evie and Megan podcast about having family dinner and how important it was to have conversations at the dinner table, I decided that we were going to do our scriptures and prayer there whenever we have dinner, because it's aligning like Jared's most important thing with my most important thing.
I love it.
That's right. I actually thought about things.
Brilliant. 10 out of 10.
That's great.
So put together.
Yes. 10 out of 10.
Just kidding.
At night, Josh has just taken over bedtime. And so he's upstairs putting the kids to bed. And if they need showers, then he bathes them. And I stay downstairs and clean the kitchen. And it's really good because sometimes I just need a mental break from children.
That's perfect. That is perfect.
Yeah.
And then whenever he comes downstairs, the kitchen's clean,
Yes.
rather than you coming downstairs and the kitchen not being clean.
Right. Yes.
He cooked and
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And at first the kids were like upset about it because they're like, Mom, you need to come say goodnight to us. So make sure that like either they say goodnight to me first, or sometimes I do still go upstairs and I'll,
Kiss ahead.
yeah.
That's good. I feel like ours is our morning routine. Every morning, like we all have snuggles before everybody gets up. So Kennedy usually wakes up first. We'll have morning snuggles. When Caleb gets up, she'll snuggle. Austin's like taking care of the dog, and starting our morning off like that is great. But also like they know we got the Skylight calendar for our birthdays. And it's been so fun to like put tasks on there. So like every morning, instead of me being the bad guy, have you brushed your teeth? Have you blah blah blah? Have you? And I was so sick of asking those questions. So now I'm like, every day when they want screens in the afternoon, I'm like, are all your tasks done? And it has pictures so Kennedy can understand it. And they're like, nope. And they know what to do. So like I'll have everything on there that they need to do in the morning and afternoon. And they don't get screens until any of that. And it's made that thing the bad guy instead of me. So they just mark off what they need to do. And if I have a chore I want to add, I can add it. But that to me has taken the mental load of like, well, has she cleaned her room? Is her room clean? Has she brushed her teeth? Did somebody forget to brush their teeth today? I was so sick of that. So
Yeah.
now they're old enough to know. So that created a lot of order in our house and like what's going on with everybody.
I think that's fantastic.
That's great.
All right, before we jump into our discussion, I just want to remind everyone that if you could please like, share, subscribe to this podcast so that more people can learn about the Southern Sisters and who we are. I am really excited with all the guests that we have coming on the podcast this year. Like, it's going to be so much fun, but we have to grow. So please help. My goal is by the end of this year to have 500 YouTube subscribers.
Oh, that's great.
Right now we're at 60.
Yes.
So
Please help.
Help a sister out.
Ask a sister. This is our help a sister
This
segment.
is our help a sister segment. Please help a sister out. Okay, so today we are giving our top marriage tips.
With
And
a grain of salt. Please don't think we think we're awesome.
Yes, we don't have perfect marriages.
Not at all, but it is it's part of the process. It's figuring it all out. Okay, so what's one marriage lesson you learned the hard way? And I can start with this. The marriage lesson I learned the hard way is that, number one, you have to set boundaries for yourself with what you will and what you will not do. And number two, don't ever do a paper route together. Okay? Because this is the boundary I'm talking about. Some
Context.
things are not worth it.
Truth.
Like, we were poor college students, and I remember trying to earn money. We had a sweet friend who had a paper route, and they were going out of town. It was like for the New York Times Sunday morning edition. And we went and picked up papers at midnight. We got done at 6 a.m. when it should only take 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And it about wrecked our marriage. Like, we were like
Screaming, fighting.
Screaming, fighting.
Your next book?
Yeah,
Come on.
fighting in the car because, like, I drove badly and apparently don't have an arm to throw papers. So there was no good job for me to do. If I were driving, then I was too jerky. If he was driving, I couldn't throw far enough to get the newspapers where they needed to go. And it was horrible. And the sweet person whose paper route it was, like, they had like an audio tape that you followed. And it would be like, it happened a couple of times. You're going to see the house with the red shutters. Throw the paper. And then it was like,
it's not
and the one to the right.
Oh no.
To the right of that. That's where the paper goes.
This is all before like iPhone GPSs.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Like you had
This
to
is a
print
cassette
out.
tape.
Yeah.
This was a
This is a cassette tape
Yeah.
in the car. And I just remember being like, we got done and I was like, never again. Like, some things are just not worth it.
Yep.
And you need to have that line drawn in the sand.
Yes.
So you know.
Yep.
Not worth it.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was torture. All right. Who else has a lesson they learned the hard way?
Mine was, if I don't communicate what I want, then it won't happen.
Oh.
And I learned this lesson when it was our first anniversary. And I was pregnant. No, she was not a honeymoon baby. I just really wanted kids. And Josh, I don't remember what we did. I just remember feeling like it was not what I expected it to be. And so I just remember like just crying and being like, I just feel like this was not romantic at all. And it just like, I just feel like this was not a good first anniversary. And so the next day I think like the next day we had church. And so when we came home from church, he was like, okay, I want you to go take a nap and, I'll wake you up. And so I went and took a nap, and then he woke me up, and he had like lit all these like little tea candles, and he had these rose petals that he just threw everywhere, and he made us dinner, and then we slow danced in the living room to our wedding song.
Aww. You're like,
Yes.
that's it.
Yes,
And had you
That's
not
so
said
sweet.
something?
exactly. But I think part of it was I was also hormonal.
Also, yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
We always have that card to play, but
Yeah.
we don't play it unless we need to.
All right. Court, what is the lesson you learned the hard way?
don't
Courtney
really-
learns everything the hard way.
Just one? Takes a
Courtney's
lot
like,
to be a 10 out of 10.
I don't want to watch everybody make mistakes. I'm going to make them my way.
Exactly. I don't care what you say. Okay. What's one marriage lesson you learned the hard way? I think the biggest piece of advice that I got that I took to heart when I first got married the first time was to keep your marriage within your marriage. And that was a horrible advice because I think that there is a degree of what?
Agreed.
Agreed, right? Like,
For you, yes.
yeah, like there's sometimes you just suffer silently and you don't have to. And you feel like you're all alone in what you're dealing with in your marriage. And there's a difference between talking to people that love you and care about you about what is going on in your home and in your marriage and trying to get advice and counsel and, wisdom from people that have been through stuff. And then bashing your husband and like there's a totally different feeling about it.
Yeah.
And
You
so
didn't say anything.
no, I never talked about anything. And so, and I lived away. And so it was just like really easy to just separate everything. And I think if I had been more open about what was going on in my marriage and not like shared everything, obviously, but been more like trying to get advice from people, I think that it would have made me feel a lot more empowered to be able to handle things that I was going through.
Yeah.
And less alone.
Yeah, less alone, definitely. So if anybody's suffering silently in their marriage, you know, it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah. You can find those people that are safe people for you to be able to talk to things about.
Yeah, talking to other people doesn't have to be a betrayal to your spouse. Mm-hmm. Even though, like, sometimes people make you feel like it is.
Right.
That's big.
Especially if they want you to hide things.
That too.
They mistreat me. Okay.
Did you answer, Lindsay?
No, she hasn't.
One thing for me, I don't have a funny story about this, but the only thing I thought with this is to not complain when they do things to help and not be so critical when it's not the way that you would have done it.
Yeah.
I think I did that at the beginning, especially with babies. There's something about being a mom and carrying the baby, and then you hand them off, and then they don't do it the way you think it should be done. And that's all by design. It's supposed to be different, and appreciating those differences, I think, are really important. And I've gained that wisdom over time. But before, I just used to be critical and question everything, and it made him not want to do things.
Yeah.
And it would make him not want to do anything because I would just be like, well, you didn't put this on right, or you forgot to put the lotion on. And like the stupidest thing that it doesn't matter. But like now
It
we're
can
a
make
team.
somebody feel really insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
To not want to do anything. To not want to do
did.
anything.
Yeah. And like you talked about, like Adam does bedtime, like bath time and bedtime. It's his time with them. And I'm like, as a mom, when you first have a kid, you're like, well, you got to make sure you're doing all these things, and it's never going to be the exact way you want it, but it's important that they do it their way and that they feel empowered to do it. So I wish I'd learned that earlier in our marriage, so I could quit criticizing, like the stupid stuff, like how you load the dishwasher or whatever. You're just like, shut up, Lindsay, you're loading the dishes.
I got criticized for how I was loading the dishwasher.
Yeah.
And I remember being young married and being like, there's more than one way to do things.
Yeah.
Just let it go. I mean, and then
If it gets done, it gets done.
if it gets done, it gets done, and it'll get clean. Like, and just give each other grace. Like, I remember we had been married like a couple months, and I turned all of Ben's underwear polka dot blue because I had blue chapstick in my pocket that got left in the washing machine, and so there were like blue waxy dots all over his underwear.
Those don't come off.
And they do not come off, and he was just like, I can help more with the laundry. Yes.
Done. I did it on purpose.
Good
Just
to know.
kidding.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I think that's great.
So, why do we think communication is often the first thing to slip when life gets busy? So, communication, it is the biggest thing you can figure out with marriage.
Yes.
We talk about this a lot in an episode 2 weeks from now when we're going to talk about love languages. We talk a lot about communication.
Yes.
But we wanted to talk about that here. Why is that the first thing to slip? And how do we fix that?
You know, Jared and I, we took this 100-question quiz from my therapist when we were going to the marriage counseling before we got married so that we could get a discount on our license or whatever, and also because I had some baggage. But, well, we both did, honestly. But he actually took this quiz, and he actually sat down and did 100 questions. Wow. And then, or maybe it was 150. It was a lot. It was a lot of questions. And it, like, rated where you were compatible in what areas of your relationship. And my therapist was like, okay, look, you guys got really bad on communication. Like, it was the worst score was our communication. Okay. But our best score was we got 100% match on spirituality. Oh. And I was like, okay, I can work with this. I'm like, I guess we know where my priorities are right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think communication is so hard. It's so hard. I just think it's so funny that God puts you with a man and a woman together, and we're so different, and we're so opposite, and we're supposed to talk and figure things out together. And it's just like sometimes Jared and I feel like two ships passing in the night, and we're just each other's co-parents and each other's babysitters. And like, we can talk about like schedules and bill pay and logistics, but not like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, there's gotta be like that. We've done that lately where it's like, well, you know, today he said something like, you know, what are we going to do for dinner, and he's the one that cooks. And I was like, well, how are you feeling? Like, where are you at with that? To be able to go from where we were, like, is crazy to me, to just think back on all the bad communication times that we had, because we would just be fighting and we would get upset with each other and we would just not talk to each other. And then it's like he wakes up like Groundhog Day, like it's a totally different day, and I'm still holding on to everything because he's like Mr. Forgive always. And, you know, and it's like I've learned how to navigate when to say stuff or when to let him cool down, or like when it's good to talk and when is like he loves talking in the car when he's driving. He loves talking all the time, but he loves talking in the car, especially he'll like share how he's feeling and stuff. And so I'm like, okay, when you're driving, that's when I can call you and ask you how you're doing, you know, or I need to make sure I'm available if you call me while you're driving, so that if you want to talk about something important that I'm there, you know. So it's like figuring out all of these, all these key
figuring
things.
out where
And when.
and when
Yes.
your partner
Great
likes
tip.
to communicate
Yeah.
is a big deal.
Recently, so 10 years of our marriage, I have done the bills and the finances. And it's mostly because I'm like, okay, if I'm going to make the money, I'm going to spend it however I want. So you can't tell me what to do. Right. And I had this like this Miss Independent thing going on. And he tried a few years into our marriage, and then it turned into
A brawl.
no. You can't tell me what to do. Like that was my whole, like, I was afraid of relinquishing control.
dare you.
Yeah, exactly. And so we recently like had a conversation. He went into the finances and he looked everything over, and like he started to like, I don't know, we just talked. Like it wasn't, it's always been this triggering thing. Like it's always been this, he gets defensive and he feels like not as important if he's the stay-at-home dad that season, you know, like it's always been around this, there's just always been this negative energy around our financial conversations. And now it's like this, okay, this is information. This does not mean that we shame each other. This does not mean that we judge each other. We're taking this in and we're just looking at it as information and seeing how we can do better.
Yeah.
And like coming at it from that perspective was completely different in our communication. So
Taking the emotion out of it.
I've
and
learned a
just
lot.
Communicating.
I've learned a lot about communication with him, because I was like, I am not getting married again.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this crap again. It has to
Yeah.
work with Jared,
Yeah.
because if it doesn't, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to figure this out. I got to figure out what to do and be patient, but also figure it out. And so, and
Yeah.
we're both committed to that. Like, he's like, we're stuck in this together forever. We choose each other every day.
Yeah.
And it's like, we got to figure this out. And so we have had to try and, you know, trial and error, a lot of error. And, you know, just, it's been so like, if you are in a season where you are not able to discuss something that is sensitive with your spouse for whatever reason, like there is hope that it is going to get better. There is hope in trying to come to Christ together and try to see things from the other person's perspective, and to try and like navigate sensitively to what that person's feeling and how they're doing, and like just keep it in check with how they're doing. And it's so hard for men to say how they're feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
But like I try to like provide this like safe environment where he's like in his car and he can talk freely or whatever.
Yeah.
So I got to show up where he wants to communicate instead of when I want to do it. Cause I would like to set an appointment, and I would like to have a meeting, and I would like to have everything on a list where I just check it off. And that is terrifying for him.
That is terrifying
He
for
would
most
like-
people.
Same. I'd be terrified. Be like, what's the jet team?
Terrifying right here.
Yeah.
Now
I'm
I
like,
go with
ChatGPT, tell me the agenda for this meeting.
Oh, man.
And then it's like bullet point after bullet point.
Well, since you told me blah, 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 you should discuss it.
Based on what I've told you, please tell me what we should talk about. I'm just kidding.
Man.
Anyways, that's my spiel.
All right. Anybody else want to talk about communication before we move on?
I think it's important to remember that there's different ways to communicate with people. I just think it's important to remember that some people do have a hard time communicating. Like I know you were saying for women, it's for men it's harder, but Josh and I are the opposite. Like, he doesn't have any problems with communication, but I remember when we were first married, like, I was just always just bottle things in, and it would just lead to the point where I would have like panic attacks. And for me, it was just so hard to say it out loud, and so it was easier for me to like either write it. Sometimes I would have to write a draft. And like, okay, here's what my not nice version. Let me write my nice version, or like texting it to him. And so I just think, it's important to remember not everybody has a easy time with communication. Not everybody communicates the same way that you do or is as open.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's true.
So here is my next thought with marriage. How do small acts of kindness build trust over time? Why is it so important to be kind with our partner?
It shows you care.
I think it next level shows you care because you're to the point when you're married, like, you chose each other.
Yeah.
It's like it's in the bag. You know what I mean? Like, and it's so still choosing each other and still doing small things that show that you matter.
Yeah.
When we were first married and when we were dating, Ben would leave notes on my car that I would find. This was before cell phones, really. And because we're just old and ancient. But I just love that. And then through the course of our marriage, it's changed to sticky notes that he'll leave sometimes around the house because he knows that it matters for me to find those when he's not around. So,
Yeah.
Adam used to buy roses, and I remember being like, all right, we're married now, and we have the same bank account, so stop buying. Love it. Love you, mean it, but we can't afford for you to buy roses all the time. I think back on that, I'm like, idiot. Just take the roses.
You shot the man
It
down.
was fine when you had your own bank account. Now we're trying to make ends meet. Stop buying roses. Love you.
Maybe buy a dozen and give me one a week.
Yeah.
One flower
It will
every other
die
day.
in the middle. Halfway through, I think it's important to be kind because I remember growing up, our parents, my dad used to say, I love your mom way more than I love you guys. Do you remember he'd say that? And I remember being like, oh, that's so rude. And we say that to our kids now because I'm like, I want them to recognize that after they're long gone, it's me and their dad.
Yeah.
Like, it's us together. And I think about all the time. I am so looking forward to that because he is my best friend. And I'm like, we're going to have so much fun when it's just you and I. And I feel like remembering that and reminding your kids, like, it's us. We're on the same team. And we talk about the Blaine family team a lot. Since we've had Caleb, one of the things that we've done is on family trips. Family trips right now are really hard times for us. We love going to do it, but the chaos that ensues, like Adam and I were like on edge all the time and we're exhausted and the kids are just crazy and there's no schedules and no nothing. And we were like ready to rip each other a new one. Like every time we talk, we'd be like, ah! Or fight or yell at each other. But ever since Caleb's been born, we've been looking at each other at the beginning and be like, and we're literally at the beginning of every trip, we're like, you and I are on the same team, and they're the enemies. And you and I, as long as we have each other and stick together, we're not going to let them ruin us. Like literally. So every time when we get in the car, we're like, they're the enemies, and he's like, yes, they are. And it has made all the difference. Like if you that sounds horrible.
No, it
I'm like,
doesn't.
you have to remind each other you're on the same team.
Yes.
Because otherwise you're going to be fighting over stupid things or how somebody drives or whatever. And I just remember like, no, this is me and you and the rest of them, whatever. They're going to be crazy because they're kids and that's what kids do. But it's been so freeing for us because even though they make us want to lose our minds, we're like laughing at them behind closed doors, like
Behind their back.
did you see what she tried to do to us today? She tried to pin you against me. We're not letting that happen. They're the enemies. And it's been great. It's been awesome. So you should make your spouse your teammate and not just Blaine family team. We're all working together because kids don't listen to that, especially when they're younger. What have you done to help the family team? Now I'm like, forget them.
Just you and me. She's graduated. Yep.
Next level.
I can say all that. Like, if I get one more toy thrown in my head, I'm going to lose it. He's like, enemies. I know. So that's how it goes. All of that is unknown.
The crazier it gets, the more it feels like that, though. Like,
yes, it's
truly
it's so stupid.
it's like we have to have
comedy.
each other. We know there's way too much crap. We've got to be together.
Oh, her hair.
That's so weird.
Wait, does it go on the other side, Courtney?
But it needs to go with the rest of them. Yeah, it went curly cute. Okay. That was funny.
Oh man.
So that's how you build trust over time.
I love that, Lindsay. I think
Kindness.
everyone should have their children be their enemy.
Well, and I'm thinking about it too because we're about to go on a trip, and I'm gonna be like, yes, we're gonna go together, and it's gonna be crazy. And we expect when you expect it, it's not a big deal. I'm like, all right.
I love that so much. I think that's awesome. Okay, so what does grace look like in marriage during hard seasons? It looks like trying to be humble, trying to still control the temperature of your home because that marriage relationship affects everything. And recognizing that it takes two. There's always two sides to the story, and it's not one is right and one is wrong. Like there's truth to both sides. And you kind of have to untangle that and recognize that you make mistakes too, whether they're intentional or not. Usually, most of the time, not.
Not for me.
10 out of 10 over here. I think that it is having patience for the other person and practicing allowing them to have the space to grow. Sometimes marriage in the hard season is grace and waiting for someone to catch up to where you're at. Like when you're making changes in life, grace is helping them to feel safe whenever they fail. I love the word grace. You know I do. Because I think that if you can try to treat each other as Christ treated people, then it will all be okay through all of that. Because there's just so many seasons of marriage, and communication is key. Humility is key. Love is key.
I think remembering that love. Like I saw a video where this guy said, your wife is the only one in your life that loves you for you. Your parents loved you because you were their kid. Your kids loved you because they were your dad. Your wife is the only one that saw you for who you really were and chose you, chose to spend the rest of your life together. And if we can remember to be that person for your spouse, and I think the more I am kind to who he is and accepting of all of his flaws, and the more he does that for me, the more I feel safe to be myself completely.
And to be a better person.
Yeah, and to want to change.
Yeah. I feel like there's different kinds of hard seasons. I feel like there's external things that make it a hard season. I feel like there's internal things that make it a hard season, mental health, addiction, and then the externals, like family circumstances, like sick parents or, whatever. And I feel like grace looks different in a marriage depending on what the hard season looks like. So the grace could be with the internal struggle. It could be patience. Okay. Or the grace could be with the external struggles, giving them extra time to just sit with what they're feeling, and just kind of making up for where there's kind of other things are needed, there's just letting them sit with how they're feeling and
Letting it be okay that they feel that way for as long as they need.
Yeah.
One thing recently that's happened with us is I had just gotten back from several trips in a row, which was out of the normal, and you could tell resentment was building. And it wasn't because I know
it wasn't because I was gone so much. It was because his cup wasn't being filled and he felt depleted with no like out. There was no light at the end of the tunnel for him. And I remember sitting on the couch and crying because I'm just hormonal and was just like, you were blaming me and making me pay for something that you have to do yourself. And I just think like I think loving your partner and seeing what they need and who they are sometimes before they do, and just being like, you need to do something for you. And he is the kindest, most serving person I've ever met, and he will do anything for anybody and does his whole day all the time. And I'm like, you are resentful because you're miserable and you're not getting what you need, and you got to figure out what that is, and then let me support you in that so you can feel like you're not alone and you're just having all this built up. And he started working out. That was his thing that he chose to do. And I remember him telling me like, thanks for seeing that before I did. I didn't know that's what was going on. And it's totally changed him, like his days. And when he doesn't do it, you can tell. But he's like, I wouldn't have thought that in myself. And so I think seeing them through a lens of being like, okay, what's going on more than the lashing out? Like there's something deeper going on.
What's the real problem?
Let me not react instantly to what's happening right now.
Surface stuff.
Yeah. And like, okay, let me love you enough to look at you and be like, what are the needs not being met? And I think men especially have a tendency to like not even realize what's going on, you know?
Because they're like, a lot of times I heard this, someone was like, their go-to is anger because that is an easy emotion. It's just anger. And that's what they're taught all their life is they can't feel sad or they can't feel like raw or anything like that because that is not masculine. Yeah. And so it's like this anger is like the most masculine feeling, but it's also a surface feeling. It's not really.
Yeah.
So it's like digging underneath that. Yeah. It's hard.
And now his mental health is like way better. It's amazing how that happens, but he sees me like that. Like he will take the kids, like I've talked about, like he'll take the kids when he can tell I'm like at the edge of my rope. He sees that in me. So finding that in each other has been the best thing because like sometimes you don't even know to ask for it, but when they can recognize what you need, you're like, yes, this is exactly
Well, I
what
think
need.
that goes right back to what you were talking about with kids being the enemies, though.
Yeah.
It's like you're best friends and you look out for each other.
Yeah. And if you're doing that, you're not thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
And like, why hasn't he done this? Why hasn't he done this? You're like, okay, he's not giving me what I need. Because that's how it started. I was like, I feel a lot of anger. We're not okay. What's going on? Instead of, I could have gone the other way, which I would have earlier in our marriage. Like, I can't believe he's acting like this. I'm going to pitch a fit or give him a silent treatment or say everything's fine when it's not and make this thing drag out instead of being like, okay, I love this person. What's actually going on? And that's the shift. If you're both thinking about each other, and that's the 100 that people talk about, like you shouldn't be giving 50-50 in your marriage. You should both be trying to give 100 to each other because that is where some days you've got nothing and he's got 100 and some days like it's never even.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be. You both should be trying to give 100% the whole time. And it's okay if that fails. But if you're looking out for him and he's looking out for you, you're not looking out for each other, like yourselves and thinking, why isn't he doing this? What's going on? I think that's great.
There's this song that the Jonas Brothers did their Christmas album and their video or movie or whatever. And one of the songs he talks about, he says, when I was innocent enough to love you without keeping score. Because it's like when you're younger, you don't think about keeping score with like, and he was talking about siblings, but like, you know, in marriage, it's like so easy to just be like tit for tat, you know, just be like, you did this, so now I should do this. And we need to make sure that we're both getting what we need because the children are crazy and we need to just fill our cups or whatever. But like when that changes, like you said, the shift to be like, okay, what do they need? Then you're getting what you need too, because it's like they're going to feel that you are looking out for them, and they're going to automatically want to look out for you, and they're going to try harder to like give you what you need because you're giving them what they need.
Jedi.
It's like
But not in a tricky way.
unagi.
That's almost what I said. I didn't know if anybody else would get it.
Unagi.
It's from Friends.
What is it? She says, what did she say?
Salmon spring roll.
Salmon spring roll.
It's on Friends. It's fine.
It's funny. Yeah. Anyways.
I just want to remind you a strong marriage is built on small daily choices and that friendship foundation. And it's not built on grand gestures. So until next time,
Keep striving, and we'll see y'all soon.
Now it's time for the
Bloopers.
welcome to our episode of Southern Sisters. Thank you so much for joining us. We're still at Mom's office. It's great. No, we're so grateful. Our sponsor for this episode, just kidding. It is AAA Life Solutions, literally. We are super excited.
Together. Let's start over. Holy what? 1780 moments. You went on so many trains.
yep. Okay.
All right.
Welcome to our episode.
Don't do it.
It's
No.
the third episode.
Well, that's your punishment, okay?
Get it together.
Okay. Ready?